I don't know, I feel like I was publicly shamed.
I've been told, no, you can't have this job because you're too big.
I'm hurting, but don't tell anyone.
The modeling industry is often seen as a glamour-filled life of luxury. It seems like it should be pretty great to be paid to be beautiful and wear fabulous clothes. But there is a dark side to this industry, and models are seriously struggling. When your body is literally being used to promote products, it's hard not to be very aware of it at all times. It's no surprise that many of the most famous and successful models out there have struggled with body image issues for years. Many models such as Ally Michael, Gemma Ward, and Haley Clausen have all voiced their struggles with weight due to the extreme pressures of the modeling industry and how it could make or break a casting.
I had gained too much weight and was unusable for the shows.
In August of 2019, model Emilie Donato opened up about her road to self-love and body positivity in a candid video. During the video, Emilie admitted there were moments in her life when she was very unhealthy and went to extreme measures to look a certain way. Emilie described how she moved to New York to pursue modeling at age 18. After meeting with agencies, she was consistently told she was too curvy, too big, too athletic, or too commercial. She added that she started eating as little as possible, over-exercising, and becoming obsessed with what she was putting in her body. Emilie even said her friends noticed that she didn't look healthy and were worried about her well-being. Now that Emilie is healthier and has had over a decade-long career, she says, "I wish I was kinder to myself because I am only human, but I thought models were meant to be a 00 and stay a 00. Emilie, as of 2019, proudly says she wants everyone to know she wears a size 6, is healthier than ever, and has graced the cover of Sports Illustrated 4 times, proving that a certain number does not equate beauty. But not every model is at peace with themselves like Emilie is in 2019. Oftentimes, casting agents will tell even the smallest models to lose weight. Harvard University and Northeastern University did extensive research in 2018 that claimed, in one study, 81% of the models surveyed reported a body mass index of less than 18.5%, which is considered underweight by the World Health Organization. One Victoria's Secret model shared how she was a part of that 81% for a very long time. Bridget Malcolm took to Instagram to open up about losing her fear of food. In her post, Bridget compared photos of herself at the height of her severe eating disorder to healthier images in 2019. She even posted more pics 2 days later to further show the difference between a healthy model and one who felt pressured to look a certain way. She captioned, "The girl in the first 3 photos was afraid of doing cardio because she was told that it would be better to not eat if she needed to lose weight fast." Bridget penned an essay on her blog where she claimed that even at an unhealthy weight, in order to book a high-profile client, they sold me thousands of dollars worth of supplements and I willingly paid, and added, "My hunger cues were extremely damaged for many years." These days, thankfully, Bridget is back to a healthy weight and working to change the conversation surrounding this subject with her blog and her influence on social media. She also made sure to tell everyone on that Instagram post that, "The fact is that today, the girl in the last photo is heavier, but she's healthy, happy, and strong, and she has a modeling career." But the pressure to be thin isn't the only struggle facing models in this industry. For some of them, the pressure to be thin is the least of their problems. The lack of diversity is. Thankfully, the modeling industry has made great strides over the last few years. Victoria's Secret hired their first ever transgender model, Valentina Sampaio, who said she plans to use her voice and presence to try to change the status quo not only in the fashion industry but also in society. While this is a huge win for the transgender community, the VS Fashion Show, which has been going on for 20 years, announced that in 2019 they would not have their nationally televised show as per usual. So that means we won't see Valentina walking the VS catwalk with her wings anytime soon. With the brand being in trouble in the past for Ed Razek's controversial comments on transgender models and their 2018 VS Fashion Show views reaching a historic low, hiring Valentina feels like too little too late. For some models, they know that the diversity is there, it's just the low numbers they're seeing that's so frustrating. First, the good news. Fall 2019 marked a milestone when it came to racial diversity, with runways featuring more models of color than ever before. Approximately 38.8% of the models were non-white, which is a 2.7% spike from the previous season. The fall 2019 shows also made progress when it came to age inclusivity. Think about it, how often do you see models who look over 30 years old? Not often. Unfortunately, where things were far less encouraging were in the categories of size and gender. The Fashion Spot notes that only 50 plus-size models walked a total of 18 shows. Most of those numbers were thanks to the Zendaya and Tommy Hilfiger show, which was praised for its inclusivity. Representation for transgender and non-binary models also experienced a backslide for the fall 2019 season, with an abrupt decline from last season's record 91 trans or GNC models to only 56 models who openly identify in those categories this time around. For plus-size models, the struggles are that they still don't fit a very critiqued mold that the fashion industry wants to adhere to. According to a 2018 study, 2/3 of US females consider themselves to be a special size, meaning plus, petite, junior, or tall, and 1/3 of American females identify as plus size. With a majority of the population not fitting into a Victoria's Secret model size, how are we still waiting for enough inclusivity for these models?
I think due to the lack of representation, I was insecure, definitely.
Ashley Graham has spoken about the difficulties she's faced in the fashion industry, saying she's had to work harder than other models because of her size. Ashley became the first size 16 model to be featured on the cover of Sports Illustrated in 2016 and has championed body positivity throughout her career.
Rolls, curves, cellulite, all of it. I love every part of me.
The model said that there's still so much retouching that's happening trying to change who we are, adding that people have tried to manipulate her body for years.
Oh, no, we need to retouch that and take that out.
She also can't stand that models above a size 14 are called plus-sized and not just called a model. She said to have an industry say, oh, this is the plus-size model, why do we have to describe a woman because of a number inside of her pants? Why can't we just say her name or her occupation and that be it? She also added, I think that when you use the word plus size, you're putting all these women into a category. You don't eat well, you don't work out, you could care less about your body, you're insecure, you have no confidence. Thanks to Ashley, however, the body positivity movement has made great strides since her 2016 debut, but she says they still have a long way to go. Ashley wants us all to recognize that fashion brands have come a long way, that's for sure, but true representation happens when diversity is considered not just through the advertisement, but internally, among the company's employees and executives. In other words, brands cannot be considered diverse if they're only showing the world how inclusive they are on the catwalk and not behind closed doors. But one of the most shocking struggles that models have to deal with is how quickly this industry leads them straight into crippling debt. Every spring, as fashion weeks in New York, London, Milan, and Paris begin, hundreds of models start traveling to the 4 fashion capitals of the world in the hopes of getting work, but many will go home financially worse off than when they arrived. Some models will rack up debt with their own agencies that takes them years to pay off. An anonymous model told BBC in February of 2019 that after 3 years, she still hasn't managed to pay off her over $11,000 she owes to her modeling agencies. Where are they racking up this money though? Well, apparently the agency pays for tons of expenses for models but starts a tab for each one of them, expecting to be paid back. From things like paying $400 for test photos when they first want to sign on with an agency, to paying for drivers and transportation when in big cities meeting with clients, these agencies keep up with all of that. So if a model travels to the latest London Fashion Week and doesn't get work, they will be in debt to their agency for the amount it spent getting her or him there. For years, some models say they will receive next to no pay as their agencies direct their fees to pay off all the money they owe. Other models have said that they were often paid in clothes and handbags and that they were almost never paid for fashion magazine shoots. Models typically aren't treated as employees, so they usually aren't guaranteed to receive minimum wage, overtime, lunch breaks, prompt paychecks, or many other protections that are common in the workplace. Instead, they are often considered independent contractors, and this means that even after paying their agencies fat commissions of 20% or more, these include everything from expensive plane tickets and group housing to the many promotional materials like websites, headshots, and portfolios required to land jobs with clients. And if struggling with money and body image aren't enough, many models deal with their fair share of mental health issues. Models like Cara Delevingne and Adwoa Aboah are at the forefront of a new wave of women speaking out about their mental and emotional struggles in the fashion industry. In 2019, it was surveyed that around 40% of fashion models suffer from some sort of eating or mental disorder. Cara Delevingne says she's not immune to that statistic. Cara said she felt something dark within herself as a teenager, and it carried into her modeling career, where she reached one of her lowest points. She reminds us that she's not an exception to mental health struggles, saying, "In our culture, we are told that if
We're beautiful, if we're skinny, if we're successful, famous,
if we fit in, if everyone loves us, that we'll be happy," but that's not entirely true. Thankfully, in 2019, Cara has found her peace and wants to help other models and young people keep the conversation about mental health going. On the upside, mental health, body positivity, and new laws are being enforced in the fashion industry to try and end all of these struggles for models of all shapes, sizes, ages, and orientations. What are your thoughts on the struggles of being a model? Do you think the industry needs to make some major changes? Let us know what you think in the comments section. Thanks for watching The Taco.